I have the president's back here. The president is a friend. He acted with judgment and decisiveness and prudence. But it's important that I just kind of tell it like it is, that not everybody is in support of this. And definitely over the weekend, there was a sizable bubbling up of chatter, disagreement, especially with the under 30 hyper online crowd. If you support these strikes in Iran, which, by the way, I want to hear from you, freedom@charliekirk.com. Do you support it or not support it? If you support these strikes in Iran, you are likely getting your news habits and your media consumption, if you support them, from either cable television or traditional media. If you are against these strikes, you tend to listen to more podcasting. You tend to get more information online. So let me kind of show you the contrast of response. I think it's very important. First here is someone who has been very vocally in support of striking Iran. He's a friend of mine. I refuse to get into all this back and forth of name calling. I don't like that. By the way, that's, I think, one of the reasons why our show is doing so well right now, is I'm not getting into, oh, you're this name or you're that name. I simultaneously can call Tucker Carlson and Mark Levin a friend, and I'm proud of that. And I don't like seeing all these different friendships fall apart just because we have heated disagreements. I don't like that. What cut is this, Shane? I can't see it. The Mark Levin one? This cut sheet doesn't make any sense. Which one is it, guys? Okay. All right, we'll get to that in a little bit. So 333.
Look what Trump just did. Look what he did. Guess what? There wasn't a regional war, and there's not going to be a regional war. There's not World War III. There was not going to be World War III. The Israelis didn't drag us into it. I want the anti-Semites, sit down and shut up. The Israelis didn't drag us into this. The Israelis are defending themselves. We're defending ourselves. That's what took place. Now, what's the reaction of the Democrats? Impeach Trump. These are sick people. Sick. You know why? Because their guy Clinton couldn't do it, Obama couldn't do it, Biden couldn't do anything. If they had their way,
And let's continue with 334. I want you to understand, when you watch these clips, you're getting a certain presentation, and that's fine, of what is happening. And so if you support the strikes in Iran, perfectly rational and respectable position, this is the narrative that you are largely consuming. Let's go to cut 334.
America, don't you feel relief? Of course you feel relief. Because these Islamo-Nazis were building nuclear weapons to attack us, too, with intercontinental ballistic missiles. Guess what? You can go to bed peacefully tonight. No, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Not because of Obama, not because of Biden, not because of the Democrats, not because of some Republicans, because of Donald Trump.
Okay, so if you support these strikes, you're likely over the age of 50 and you watch cable television or traditional media. But I think it's important that I read some of these tweets of some of the top MAGA voices that have spoken out this weekend. People that are very, very pro-Trump. Here is the Hodge twins, for example. Please stop with the gaslighting, bombing another country's nuclear facilities, and then openly calling for regime change is not a peaceful message. It's an act of war, plain and simple. By the way, well over 10 million followers, very, very pro-Trump. Alex Jones, we all know Alex. Alex can be quite entertaining. I'm sad to see that Trump drank the neocon Kool-Aid and attacked Iran. That said, most people see through the gaslighting, and the age of globalist warmongers is coming to its end. This insane war, quote, must end now. Regardless, Trump is doing a great job on domestic issues / trade, as well as boosting most America First policies, so I'll not throw the baby out with the bathwater. The Patriot Voice, I'm not going to read this entire thing, but very, very pro-Trump, says, I hardly recognize MAGA anymore. I did not associate with MAGA starting all the way back in 2015, be part of this type of psychotic cult-like behavior. Very long, saying that he's very upset with President Trump. This one, Sean Strickland. What happened to America First? Cost of living, staggering wages, inflation. How does spending hundreds of millions to bomb a desert help the average America? Regime change, question mark. UFC fighter. He was at our Las Vegas rally. Again, he's kind of one of the cool kids that has come alongside that is now totally against. And by the way, before I read more, and I'll do this more after the break, a lot of the podcast bros, a lot of the hyper digital online, the young energy that has been a catalyst to the movement. And just remember, Donald Trump won the youth vote. He won the White House because of the youth vote. Boomers went 3 points to the left. Young people moved 15 points to the right. It's not because of boomers that Donald Trump won the White House. It's because of young people and students. And a lot of those online, and I'll read more, are vehemently against what has happened in the Middle East. Don't shoot the messenger.